Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. So in this video I thought we might as well take the two new EZA units, the free to play ones, and we'll put them in a pure Saiyans team and just kind of see how they perform, in like this SBR environment. So the pure Saiyans SBR overall is a pretty tough one. If you watch my Pure Saiyans guide video, where we kind of run with a low class warriors team, it's really suitable, or it's a more suited stage to having a lot of utility rather than having a lot of damage. Because obviously the main thing with the Pure Saiyans and the Pure Saiyans SBR is that basically you always fight two enemies. And when you're in these fights where you're always fighting one or two enemies, having utility, attack lowering, sealing, stunning, and things like that really helps a lot more than just raw damage. Because most of us aren't going to have, by the way, a nice 1.7 million attack stat from Vegeta, really solid. But most of us are not going to have units that are going to be able to produce super high quantities of damage in a way to completely clear the stage. You will if you use a whole bunch of LRs, or if your LRs have dupes in them. Like my Broly rotation is a rotation that deals a massive amount of damage. You'll see them in the video. I just brought them along to have something interesting to fill up the gaps in between the EZA units. But yeah, obviously we'll just kind of take a look at how they do. Spoilers, they do pretty well. Goku, unfortunately, does suffer from the fact that there are no extreme units in this stage, which sucks a little bit for him, because he doesn't really get to show his attack stats at all. But his defense gets shown really well, and I think that alone is enough to warrant taking him, especially since he fits in the low-class warriors team that I used previously, actually. So he really is actually a solid unit to take, and he can fit into my SBR guide, my low class warriors kind of free to play friendly team. So yeah, really impressed with both of them. Vegeta's attack stats will look pretty good. That's because obviously we're fighting a whole bunch of super class enemies. But yeah, Goku defensively does really well. Very impressed. So yeah. In terms of the team, obviously we're just running double physical, well, we're running one physical Vegeta lead, and we're running one agility Vegeta lead. So their attack stats are slightly lower than they probably should be, but their defensive stats are slightly higher than they should be. It's an okay mix. Generally with Pure Saiyans, we don't currently right now have that big 170% Pure Saiyans lead that exists on Dokkan. So at this current point in time, this is probably as good as it gets. You kind of want this mixture. I prefer to run double physical Vegeta. I just like Vegeta, his physical one. I like the 150% leader skill a bit more. It's just a bit more balanced. But yeah, you're free to run to each their own. The Brolys do a tremendous amount of damage, so yeah, not too worried about that. But more importantly, this turn we have no items activated. It was all planned. So we're hopefully going to see, 'cause right there, they've stacked, okay? And they're sitting at very high defense. 167k and 88k. Remember, Goku gains the rest of his defense on Super. We're going to let Goku go first as well. Just so he can tank some damage, because he's not going to do a lot of damage being against Super class. And yeah, we're just going to see how they tank. And we'll see their damage, but I'm very impressed. Obviously I have the support, but yeah, 1.2 million, not too bad. Goku's got some link leveling to do and everything. 1.3, so yeah, Goku definitely could do some decent damage. We'll see how much damage he takes here. 78k only with no item activated, very impressive. Vegeta does 1.8, double digit, so no item, 78,000 damage, double digits on normals. Damage was a little bit low, but if you link level, give them equipment, I mean Goku will get up into the mid high 1 something millions, and Vegeta will definitely be over the 2 million mark. So honestly, that alone, I could stop the video here. The fact that they can do that, yes, they were able to stack once, most certainly, but you're gonna get them to stack at least once in SBR. SBR is not usually finished in 2 turns, so yeah, that alone, honestly, could stop the video. Could stop the video right there. Super impressed, very happy, really, honestly, like, done. Just they're good. So yeah, we'll see here. So obviously we're starting with the 96,000. We have no support, so we will pop a Whis, as most players would. 96k, he will be about 120-ish with a stack. Goku will be about the same. So yeah, and we'll take a look at how they tank here. They do have a Whis active. So yeah, 30k from the tech Go tanks, which obviously isn't great with a Whis active. Double digits from Go on, down from 1k, and 170. So Go tanks hits pretty hard. I mean, yeah, that's a lot of damage even with the Whis. We obviously didn't get Vegeta to stack twice, which would have really helped with reducing that damage as well. But I mean, yeah, I'm still very impressed. I mean, that is a top disadvantage super. Yes, we had a Whis active, but I mean, 175k. This team usually will be running with around 500k. Like, yeah, that's fine. If he had taken that on his next turn, after he'd stacked again, probably would have been maybe close to 100k, which is a very solid amount of damage to take. It's not bad. It's not a bad amount of damage. So yeah, definitely still impressed. Vegeta's attack stats are pretty decent as well. Obviously, he's fighting super class, so he's getting his full buff. Goku's attack stats are a little bit lower. Unfortunately, we're fighting, super class, so his full passive isn't activated. But defensively, there's just a really great pairing. And yeah, it's not Goku's fault that they designed the stage to, only have super enemies. And even then, like, the units that perform defensively are pretty well. And I mean, if you link level him, give him some gear, Goku will still be hitting, 1 millions, 1.4, 1.5 million, which is fine. You don't need, I mean, you would like more damage for sure, but the fact that he's going to be paired with Vegeta, who, if you link leveled him and gave him gear, would be hitting super solid attack stats, means that as a pairing, their attack stats will be pretty good, and their defense will be pretty great. So Vegeta, as we see, is already up to 140k. Goku will be similar. It'll be interesting to see. I think we don't have an item active here either, so it'll be interesting to see how much damage they take. 21k, 1.8 million damage, nice attack stat. The double attack, so they're 1.7, 1.9, really solid, and double digits. So yeah, and then Goku also will probably take double digits, because Goku's basically stacking. Yeah, the thing with Goku is when he's in the second slot, his defense before the super, because you're not going to see it multiply out, it's not going to look that great. But because Goku's in that second slot, basically, to cut a long story short, his defense will always be the same as what Vegeta's would be after it stacks once. So if Vegeta's sitting at like 160k, and then he stacks again, he's sitting at 190k, that's what Goku will be pretty much once he supers, because of the way his defense is calculated. And if you have support, Goku's defense is actually going to be even higher than that Vegeta's will be, just because Goku has defense on super. So the support gets multiplied in before the defense occurs on the super, which then magnifies it more. So basically, Goku is a defensive beast just as a second slot unit, which is fine. Like I say, it's more than good. Goku and Vegeta, even though Goku's attack stat is low, are more than warranted being super useful units just from their display here. And I mean, this is not most optimal situation. You could probably run a more optimal pure Saiyans team. Switch them up, bring Scatter Vegeta to run with Agility Vegeta, bring Tech Kaioken Goku to run with Goku, bring more support. You could run them separately. You could run a Vegeta's family team or a Goku's family team, where they'd have higher stat bases and probably greater synergy. So yeah, it's definitely not even their best performance, I would say, but it's probably just the easiest team I could throw them on. And I didn't want to make the team too complicated or too catered to them. I just kind of wanted to see how they would do, in the SBR. Not super optimal or super done up or anything. Just see how they're doing, how they perform, and where their numbers lie. So we'll pop a Weesia. We're happy with how they perform defensively. I have no need to test how they front tank anything anymore. We didn't see them front tank a first turn or anything. But yeah, overall, I'm more than happy with how they've performed. Really just really done well. And obviously, yeah, I'm more than happy with how they've done. I think it's been really impressive. So yeah, we'll get the Dokkan attack with Vegeta. Obviously, he gets that buff against super type enemies. And we wanted him to front slot tank anyway. So yeah, happy. I think this video shows that they're more than viable in SBR. They'll especially be more than viable if you run them with maybe slightly better pairing partners. 1.1 million is solid by Goku. Like I say, I think they're also they're probably some of the first free-to-play units. Not the first, but I mean, they definitely are worth link leveling. These free-to-play units, I think they're worth sticking some decent gear on. They're definitely worth link leveling. Not only are they great linking partners for two upcoming EZAs, for physical Vegeta and Tech Goku, but they are, solid units in general because of their link sets, because they're prepared for battle, because they link generally quite well with Saiyans. I think link leveling them is not bad, giving them decent gear is not bad. They'll be used in Ultimate Challenge, they'll be used in Ultimate Clash, they'll be used for SBR runs if you're a new player. They'll be used for a lot of content. They're really solid. So yeah, I think they're actually worth the effort of link leveling. I think they're worth the effort of putting in decent gear, and I have no problem with how they perform. I will not massively link level them. I'm not gonna push link level them, mainly just because I'm trying to link level other teams that are more important for videos or finishing ESBRs or things like that, to show new players. But yeah, I think if you're a new player and you've just picked up these two new units and you want to maybe make a pure Saiyans team, or you're a bit lost or you want to use them, they're definitely worth the time and the effort. So yeah, feel free to use them, basically is what I'm saying. So yeah, we'll test them out here. Obviously we don't need to test out their tanking anymore, but we'll do it anyway. Goku's got a type advantage against this Goku Jr. So it's really only Vegeta who can take damage and get supered straight away, because that's what we want to see. So 322k, no Adam. It's quite a lot. It is quite a lot, but I mean, super attacks from units in these stages with no Adam, with no type advantage, it's probably some of the highest damage you can take outside of a category ESBR or a mono type ESBR. So the fact that he survived it, really impressive. And Goku obviously tanked incredibly well, even if he didn't do some great damage. So yeah, I think that turn there was just testament to their defensive capabilities. And Vegeta had a decent attack stat. You could link level them. Yeah, they're done. I'm happy with them. Very certified. We'll finish things up with probably with the int one. The tech one's not going to manage to get an attack off, but that's okay. Yeah, it is what it is. We'll let the the Int Broly, who just came out, finished things up. Very cool unit. This is 55% obviously, but yeah, attack stats are great. He's doing really well. But yeah, that's going to be it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this shows you how the two new free-to-play units perform in the Pure Saiyans SBR, and gives you an idea of how they perform in general in SBR. Probably one of the hardest stages for them to do as well. So yeah, really chuffed at how they did. But cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, and I will definitely catch you in the next video. But until then, bye.